Hey guys, we've got Dave Lawrence, one of our Tegiwa sponsors down here today. He's going to introduce himself, tell us what car he's brought down, and then we're going to have a look around it and ask a few questions. So how did you get into motorsport, Dave, and what series are you racing in at the minute?
I got into motorsport. I used to do a lot of track days in my previous car, my Corsa BXR. It was more fun back then, just doing bits and bobs to my car and going out. I just wanted something a bit more competitive after that. So I entered Time Attack. I thought I'd start in, go for the full season, as you do. I did relatively well for my class in my first time in a bit of competition. Took home a couple of trophies, and yeah, I thought, because I've had the car about 3 years at this point, I decided I wanted something different in any way. So when the season come to an end, I started looking for my next project car, which came the Seat Leon Cupra. When I got it, it was totally standard, so it needed a lot of work doing to it. So that's when I started going out and purchasing a lot of parts for it. So when I started purchasing all the parts, I thought it'd be a good idea to do a bit of a photo shoot of all the parts, because they started collecting up. So the photo shoot, I believe, was the 31st of January. So as soon as that was done and finished, the next day I started fitting all the parts. And it took a couple of weeks to put all the parts on, because there was a lot of them. But yeah, and then got to the first round at Cadwell. Half of the parts was on, half of the parts still not arrived. So it was a bit half built, no geo, it was kind of just as it was. But luckily it was that wet, it sort of got cancelled, so that was alright.
That was a wet weekend.
Yeah, it was a very wet weekend, yeah.
So what made you go for the Cupra out of, like, you know, the Golf R, and, you know, it's still the MQB chassis, isn't it?
Yeah.
What specifically made you go for this?
It was more for the fact a lot of people have the Golfs, the S3s, the Golf Rs and everything like that, and I thought I wanted the MQB chassis because it was, they use them in the TCR cars and everything like that, so it was a great platform to start with. I didn't want four-wheel drive, so that only left front-wheel drive, so my options was a Golf GTI and a Cupra. And I decided to be a bit different and go for the Cupra.
Yeah, don't see as many, do you?
You don't see as many, it stands out a bit, and people, they're a bit underrated.
Yeah. So you're in Time Attack at the minute. Is there anything else you'd like to race in, or do you think where do you want to be after this season? Do you think push on and develop this, or?
Yeah, so when we come to the end of the season for Time Attack, I'm going to do a bit more development on the car, maybe a bit more aero, because at the minute it has no aero, so I'd like to try and get a bit of that on it. I would like to try the 750 Motor Club maybe next year, maybe a round or two, see how we get on.
Yeah.
Bit of door-to-door racing.
Bit of sprinting and.
Yeah, maybe a bit of sprinting. Might do a hill climb or two, but Time Attack, I still might enter the full season and still dabble in a few other bits as well.
Yeah, nice.
Just because I do like Time Attack, and everyone around is
good sort of community.
Yeah, it's a really good community. They all help you out when you need and everything. So
there's
really
a lot of like different machinery you wouldn't necessarily see in.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't imagine putting this up against like a 750 brake M3 in the same class and against a Porsche 911 GT3. It's totally on the opposite side of the spectrum. So.
So what power is your Cupra running?
This is currently running 469 brake horsepower, 440 foot-pound of torque. So I wanted to get away from the whole forging the engine malarkey. So I wanted something that could take at least nearly 500 brake, reliable on track. So I'd maybe push it a little bit more, but 500 is a nice sweet spot.
Yeah. So what have you done to get it to?
To get it to that is basically a Litco L430 turbo, I've got a DO88 intercooler. I've got a high pressure fuel pump, low pressure fuel pump, and a power valve exhaust system.
Cool.
With a cap.
Is that a full system, is it?
Yeah, full system, turbo back, 3-inch all the way through.
Yeah.
With sports cat and just one back box at the back.
Cool. So wheels and tyres, so you've got a set of 2 forges on there?
Yeah, Tegiwa supplied them for me. Custom offset, which I wanted the same offset as the TCR car, so I could always go out and buy a set of TCR wheels if I really wanted to put on, so I know everything fits all right. Running the competition tyres, which are the Trofeo R's
yeah.
and 265s. And my brakes, I'm running AP Racing Pro 5000 with touring car BTC disc and pads.
Big stoppers, aren't they?
Big stoppers. I think they're 356 by 36, so they're wide enough, and they're really good. Don't see no fade in them whatsoever.
And you've got all of the camber as well up here, haven't you?
Yeah, so my KW Club Sport suspension, they're maxed out, and I wanted more, so I had to get the Vertline bottom arms for him, so they can adjust the caster and camber, which you boys happily found the guys who make them, and got me a really good deal on them. So yeah, that was really good. Cool. So now I've got 4 degree on the front and 4 degree on the rear.
Yeah, it looks pretty, quite an aggressive setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then these wings aren't standard either, are they?
No, these are Fiberworks wings, so they look relatively standard from the front, and then you come out the back and they started branching out with the vent holes at the rear.
Yeah. And then the wrap as well, the wrap's really eye-catching, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted something that really stood out, and because I had my cage in yellow and had a few other bits in yellow, I decided to go with sort of the yellow, grey, black theme. And to be honest, I kind of told Blue Banana, I was like, that they're the colours I want.
Do something.
Sort of do something for me and surprise me, and it really paid off.
Really nice job.
Yeah, really nice.
And then just moving on to the back of the car. So what wings are that? Are they mini wings?
These are mini R56 wings. It was mainly because I went with the bigger tyres of 10J wide, which they did stick out of my wings quite a bit, and I thought, well, my arches should I say, and I thought I'd need to cut them.
Yeah.
So instead of having them looking a bit half-arse, big arches, I decided to put some mini arches on, just over the top, just to give me the clearance I need, just for everything to be right. And it was just a temporary fix for now, but I may look into getting something a bit different, maybe next year.
TCR kit, something.
Maybe if everything plans out right.
Yeah. And what about rear brakes? Are they standard?
So the rear brake calipers are standard. I've got a 2-piece rear disc setup, which I went for that setup. It's a little bit lighter. I think it was about 2 kilos a side lighter or something
every
like
little
that.
helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, every little bit helps.
From weight, you know.
So I got the Ferodo DS 2500 pads in the rear. I didn't want nothing too grabby, just because the back end being a bit light. DS 2500 should be all right for that.
Fast road pad, isn't it?
Yeah, fast road pad so far. I didn't want nothing too aggressive.
Yeah. Have a look around the back of the car. So what exhaust system did you say was on it?
So the exhaust system on it is a power valve WRC exhaust system. When I got it, it sounded alright. Well, it did sound great on full chat, because it had a valve system in it. So when you full chat, all the valves open, gives you all the sound you want. I wanted the sound all the time. So I disconnected the valve. So now I've got the sound all the time.
Yeah.
Easily to put back on, but how I like it now, once it is how it is now.
Yeah.
Which is a nice sound.
And then we've got the cage as well, haven't we? There, obviously, bright yellow.
Yeah, the cage, bright yellow. It's I wanted something that stands out. You don't bang your head when you get in it.
Yeah. JP Cages.
JP Cages did my cage for me. Did an amazing job. I thought I'd go full send this time.
Can't be too safe.
You can't be too safe. So I went for 6-point harnesses this time instead of 4. I've also gone for hands device as well.
Yeah.
Like you say, you can never be too safe on track.
You can't put a price on safety, can you?
No.
You know, these things happen.
I mean, the hands device is absolutely great. The movement, it stops your head from moving, is amazing. I'd recommend anyone to get one in any sort of track day or racing scenario.
And what seats have we got in there?
So the seats we've got in are just Recaro pole positions. I went for these because I did want to do a couple of ring trips to Nürburgring and stuff, and I know they don't like wing backs, so these were the best seats you could buy without having wing backs.
Yeah.
They're dead comfy, really nice. You could do long journeys in them.
Kind of one of the best seats on the market, aren't they, really?
They are one of the best seats on the market.
Is it a standard steering wheel retrimmed?
It's a standard steering wheel retrimmed by Royal steering wheels. I just wanted the Alcantara feel, and it's just a better look for it.
Yeah. And what about the shifters? Are they extended ones?
So they're extended shifters. They was on it before I got it. I'm planning on changing them just for a bit different ones, maybe some lighter ones.
Yeah.
Even though they don't weigh much anyway. But yeah, it's dead handy. You'll be going around a bend and you can just
find that.
You can find it no matter where it is, sort of thing.
And have you had any work done to the gearbox? Has that been mapped?
Yeah, so I've had a stage 3 map on it. I know people love stages, but this one it's a stage 3 map. So basically, when I've got it in manual, it will not shift up by itself. Yeah. So I can get to a bend, hit the limiter, let off, go around the bend. Yeah. So that's what I wanted. I wanted it to feel like a manual, as in I can hit the limiter if I wanted to, but still have the feel of a DSG box. So yeah, that was Unicorn who did that, one of my sponsors.
Did they map the car as well?
They mapped the car as well. They sourced me the turbo from Litco as well. It was a bit like of a development turbo it was. Yeah. So I was I think I was the second person to try it on. First person to have it on a Cupra, but second person to have that turbo. Yeah. As you say, 430, I thought it was only going to make 430, but first run of the dyno it made 450, so I was like, oh, okay. Nice. Nice. It's probably still only on low boost at 1.8 bar. Yeah. So
it's nice and safe, they're reliable, isn't it?
Nice and safe, reliable. I can put the power down really well with these wide sticky tyres. So yeah, everything just seems to work as it should. Yeah.
So you've got a few Racing Line goodies under here as well then?
Yeah, Racing Line seem to be doing really well with the products. They've had great reviews, they work on track, so it was proven, everything works, so it was the only way forward, to be honest. Yeah. So I've got the R600 intake, I've got the Revo one piece intake pipe. I've got the Revo, the Racing Line oil catch can, because they do suffer quite bad on these. I've got the Racing Line Race Division dog bone man, the engine man. I've also got the newly developed Vibratechnics engine mount for that side.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to finish the development for the gearbox side so I can have
Yeah, I was
that.
going to say, is your gearbox mounts, are they standard or?
Well, this one's, I've got a standard one still on it at the minute because I've tried others and they've all failed in a very short period of time.
Oh dear.
Probably my driving, but at least, you know what I mean, these
Yeah.
things shouldn't be breaking.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the development to come back out from that and
Yeah.
I'll be able to have one.
I've just noticed we've got these scoops. Are they standard? They're not standard.
No, these ain't standard, so these are another product from Fiberworks.
Just help with like keeping your brakes cool.
I've not got anything plumbed up as yet. It was more like I wanted it to look that way and then I could do all the development afterwards.
Yeah.
But I've also added this front splitter. It's more just for show at the minute. Just to give it a bit more of an aggressive look.
Yeah.
Because it did look a bit plain. But yeah, compared to like the Golf GTIs, they look quite aggressive.
They've got like a bit of a splitter anyway, haven't they?
So this sort of didn't have one, so I wanted it to look a little bit better than what it was.
And where can people find you on socials if they want to follow your journey through motorsport, if you like?
They can follow me on R22_Arctic on Instagram and just David Lawrence on YouTube. I post up quite a bit of racing videos on there, so
cool.
They can follow me on there.
And if anyone was looking to get into like motorsport, like, you know, a young person, what would you say to them? What advice could you give them?
I'd say start off cheap and see if you like it first. You don't want to go all guns blazing and find out it's not for you. Like I say, start off cheap. If you enjoy it and you really like it, then you can always move up.
Yeah. And what's your job outside of motorsport?
So I'm a forklift driver.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, so it's...
driving at the weekend, driving in the day, 2 different vehicles.
Yeah, and I race on slicks at work as well, the fork truck, so I'm used to that. It gets a bit sketchy in the winter though when it starts raining.
What do you think you go for next, like away from the Cupra? Like, what's your next step up if you were to?
I have been looking. My next car after this, it'll probably be a couple of years, but I do want an R8.
Nice, V10, V8.
There's 2 options. There was a V10, but apparently there was a little bit on the heavy side. But the V8 was lighter, and it could be better. Yeah. So I'm in 2 options at the minute.
Manual.
Probably DSG.
Yeah.
I like the DSG. Now I've got used to this. It's a really good platform.
So we're going to see an R8 in Time Attack soon then?
I wouldn't say soon, but maybe in a few years when I've got a bit more money.
Cool. I think that about sums it up then. Thanks, Coach, for coming down.
No problem.